Heyo, Ben here, and welcome back to Kerbal Space Program. Kind of showing you some progress I've made, and anyway, this first mission is doing some testing for contracts and stuff, yada yada yada. So really, all the stuff that's going to be purely Kerbin based, I'm at least this one. This one's the Atlas 1. And of course, as we all know, Atlas is from Greek mythology. Yes, I love my Greek mythology in regards to space projects because I just think it's pretty darn cool. And of course, Atlas was the... Yes, you get an explosion. Atlas was the Titan who did all the... who held up all the celestial spheres and all that, and there are the Atlas Mountains in Northwest Africa, of course, and there are a bunch of other places. And of course Atlas, because they were Titans and they kind of lost the war with the Olympians, aka the Greek gods. He was punished. Zeus condemned Atlas, however, to stand at the western edge of the Earth. Ooh, explosion too. That was trying to collect science around the place. And hold up the heavens on his shoulders to prevent the two from becoming one, essentially. A lot of people think that Atlas was forced to hold the Earth on his shoulders, but people don't realize that he was supposed to be holding up the entire heavens. Of course, Atlas was featured in the 12 Labors of Heracles. If anybody calls the guy Hercules, I'm going to block. No, I'm Hercules. A lot of people call him Hercules simply because it's easier to remember for most people. But the thing is, the Romans actually stole their entire mythology from the Greeks. Like, they stole the entire mythology. So that's why I use Greek mythology instead of mix, like we actually do. Most of the bodies are actually named after the Roman gods, which really pisses me off because the Greeks did it first, and yeah. No, so it's Heracles. Don't say Hercules in the comments. So anyway, Heracles offered to hold up the heavens while Atlas went and got something for his daughters, and Atlas tried to trick Heracles. I see now that I've said the two. In most conversations, I will never do it, but if I'm trying to compare the two, I'll often confuse them. But Atlas tried to trick Heracles into carrying the sky permanently. And Heracles, of course, tricked Atlas into taking the job back over by saying, yeah, I just need to adjust something, so give me a second, and, well, that's what happened. And that's really it. Of course, as we all know, atlases are giant maps of the Earth. And the next project I'm doing is specifically aimed at the moon. This is just scientific stuff. You never want to fly these things without SAS on. Once you get towards the upper atmosphere, because they become pains in the rear ends, really. It's just a pain in the ass to control these things. So, okay, yeah, this was after I did my re-entry burn, and I'm just holding on to that mass as long as possible to slow down my descent, because I think that's very, very, very necessary. And looking at it, looks like this is regular speed. You've probably seen a mix of 4 times speed and regular. And of course, it's actually kind of did this rather well, in my opinion. And this is one of the last Hades. This is going to be the last Hades mission for a while. And yeah. So I think I may do 1 or 2 more Hades projects, simply to test the viability of long-term stays in orbit, before I start doing like space stations and stuff. Probably before I land the moon, I'm gonna do like orbital rendezvous stuff, simply so I can practice it, because I do want to do space station stuff. And anyway, so now that I've gathered that science, I'm really just trying to gather funds so I can get surface samples before I attempt a landing on the moon, because that's definitely going to be necessary. Because I'm trying to get as much science as possible. Then again, I'm also tempted to just land on the moon straight away and do all the science stuff later, because just let's plant the flag, right? Or do something absolutely crazy, but